Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel, and oh my god, do I have a story for you guys. So we oftentimes like to joke online about cucks, right? About cuckolding. Who's a cuck? Okay, that's a thing. It's gone around for a while. It hits both sides of the argument. Generally, it's aimed more for left-leaning guys, like soy boy cucks who are just filled with soy over every little thing, right? That tends to be the running gag, and I'm hope I'm going to overuse it to the point of where it kills it for some people because I think it's stupid. But there are times where it does kind of come up in conversation, and this is not necessarily one of them. However, I can see why this is happening. So here's the story from the Daily Mail here. A judge orders a marketing manager to pay a cuckolded husband $8.8 million after the marketing manager had an affair with the man's wife and ruined their 6-year marriage. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. A judge ordered a dude pay $8 million because he fucked someone else's wife and got caught. Again, part of me is like, well played. Well played on the judge's part. Now, it says here, Keith King may have lost a wife, but he gained nearly $9 million from his romantic rival, all thanks to a quirk of North Carolina's legal system. Again, if you know how to play certain elements of the law, this is where you might find yourself a newly minted millionaire. Now, Superior Court Judge Orlando Hudson of the Staircase documentary fame awarded Keith King $8.8 million in compensatory and punitive damages on Thursday from his wife Danielle's Texan lover, Francisco Huizar III. King had sued Huizar, I'm probably saying that wrong, for, among other complaints, criminal conversation and alienation of affection, accusing him of breaking up their marriage. Now, on the left here, this is Keith King, and then this guy right here, the younger Latin lover, is Francisco, and then this is the wife. I'm just going to be fair. I don't think she's worth $8.8 million. I'm just going to say that up front. Now, North Carolina is one of the few states where jilted spouses can sue affair partners. Huizar, who lives in San Antonio and earns $84,000 a year as a marketing tour manager, plans to appeal the verdict. And that makes sense. If I was hit with the $8.8 million judgment because I was nailing somebody else's wife, I would also want to appeal it simply because I don't have that kind of money lying around. And yeah, if anything, the cuck kind of cucked to the cuck here. He did. He took him out back and he cucked him pretty hard, the legal system, right? Or maybe the legal system cucked him. I'm not too sure. Somebody cucked somebody. Now, attorney Joanne Foyle said the extramarital affair and the alleged assault by Huizar cost King's company BMX stunt shows revenue and an employee, since Danielle King worked for the company. So it cost his business to hurt. Now, Huizar's attorney argued that King's 6-year marriage was crumbling before Huizar ever met Mrs. King at a BMX show. Well, here's the thing, Cherry Patrick. I understand where you're coming from, man. I do. I get the argument. I'm gonna sit there. I'm going to agree with your argument, your assessment about maybe the marriage is already crumbling. Maybe that was the thing. But let's be fair. Let's be realistic. Let's talk it out here for a hot moment. You still signed a legal goddamn contract, right? That's all marriage is. Marriage is a legal agreement between two parties. It's a legally binding contract. You know, it could be 6 years, 60 years, 6 days, 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 hours, 6 minutes, 6 seconds, which is probably how long their honeymoon lasted. But the point is, it doesn't matter. It's a legally binding contract. You gotta live by that shit, right? We live in a land of laws, don't we? We live in rules and regulations. Now, Patrick described King, who is 15 years older than his 33-year-old wife, as controlling and manipulative, and the couple have a 5-year-old daughter together. The lawyer for the defendant recounted in court how King routinely reviewed the contents of his wife's phone, tracked her movements, forced her to wear bikinis and stilettos, did not allow her to dye her blonde locks a different hue, among other things. Okay, so I don't know how much of that is true. Maybe it is. She clearly went to another man in order to find love and affection. That's not uncommon. It's not uncommon. It isn't. It happens quite frequently. And I guess I understand that. I understand that. But at the same time, none of that warrants it. None of that pretty much can violate a marriage contract, right? I mean, it's a contract. It's a contract. I think we have to, if the sanctity of a marriage agreement is not upheld in court, then like it's the basis, it's the bedrock for our society. I'm kidding. Uh, when called to testify, Danielle King claimed that she was the only one who romantically pursued Huizar and said her marriage to Keith was an unhappy one from the outset. Okay, so she's basically trying to jump on that grenade. Right. She's trying to jump on that grenade. That's essentially where it's at right now. Then, of course, under this law, he was awarded the $8.8 million. But she's sitting there and she's going like, I romantically pursued him. I romantically pursued him. Okay. It's still, I mean, you still cheated on your husband. Divorce him. Or did you like the money? Were you used to the comfortable lifestyle that working for your husband's company, BMX stunt show, provides, right? Now, isn't this, again, this is where we have to sit there and have that legitimate conversation. If a person is in a marriage and that marriage awards certain luxuries, certain ways of living, and we hear about this a lot, especially when it comes to alimony, right? That the spouse that's seeking alimony is seeking it because they were accustomed to a specific type of living. You know, a specific style, a specific level, right? We hear about this kind of stuff. It's not uncommon. We hear about this kind of stuff. So, you know, she's living with this. She is in a 6-year marriage. She's not happy. Instead of ending it like an adult, she goes and she bops some other dude who's from out of town, right? You know, I mean, I'm just saying that's what it is. That's what it is. Like, I don't respect cheaters. Not one damn bit. Not one damn bit. I don't respect cheaters. So I'm sorry, Danielle. You can sit there and say, you know, was he physically abusive to you? If the answer to that is no, then you have no reason to cheat on his ass. End the marriage. Split the assets, right? End the marriage. But I know there's going to be that argument. But what about the daughter? Oh, so you going off and fucking somebody else is going to be good for your kid if she eventually finds out. Yeah, because that seems about right. It seems about accurate about this whole situation. Is how I'm looking at it right now. That's how it appears. Is that ultimately I'm on the side of the husband here, and there might be arguments in the comment section. You're just an MRA, men's rights activist. No, there was a quirk in the law. The law allowed him to sue his wife's lover. His wife cheated on him. She broke the contract of marriage. She broke that legally binding agreement. Well, I don't know. I mean, she broke at least the moral agreement to it. And this is what he was able to do. And, you know, the guy's I mean, look, here's the thing. The guy makes $84,000 a year. All right. So that's over 10 years of his salary. There's no way that Keith here is going to get the money. There's no way Keith is going to get about the nearly $9 million. Okay. There's no way it's going to happen. But I think at this point, it's literally just the principle of the matter. He's like, oh, you want to fuck me? Oh, yeah. Yeah. We'll see who's laughing at the end here. Now, they did apparently get into a physical confrontation at one point, which was tried to be argued against Keith, but the judge in the end was all like, nah, man, I've seen this happen enough times. You owe him $9 million. I guess what it really boils down to is this, guys. If you want to hook up with someone who's married, and this goes for women too, check your local laws. It's entirely possible that if it gets found out, you could be financially viable or liable for whatever the judge then tells you that you owe. So, the more you know, and don't cheat. Be an adult and end the damn relationship. Anyway. My name is Matt Jarbo. This has been the Mundane Matt Channel. What do you guys think? Write it down in the comics. Who cucked the cuck? And did the cuck ultimately do the cucking? I want to know your cucking answers. Write it down in the cucking comments. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Hopefully I've killed the word cuck. My name is Matt Jarbo. Have yourself a great day, guys, and peace out.